Hey everybody, happy Monday. You're listening to the latest episode of the Dollar Bin Bandits. This episode, as we like to refer to them as our casual loose fit episodes, you are watching a Bandit Bits episode. We are going to be discussing our latest Bandit finds. Okay, we have scoured dollar bins, back bins, comic book bins of any type to find the latest and greatest of what we could find. Okay, now, Mike, take it away.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I haven't done one of these before, and I know the show basically started with these kind of episodes where you guys, as you said, scour the dollar bins.
Predicated on this concept.
It was super predicated on
predicated. I just like to throw that out there.
It's, a solid A+ word right there.
Thank you.
And we're going to try to get our value out of it.
Yep.
So since this was predicated on such a concept and such a premise,
yep,
it made me excited to be finally part of one of these. We do the big interviews. That's what people come to Dollar Bin Bandits for. But we started as a humble dollar bin pickup review show. It's where our roots are.
Yeah.
So, we're going to do some round robin style, go through some of our recent pickups, and hey, leave us some comments. Tell us what you got. Tell us what you think of what we got, and it'll be fun. So here's my first one. Let's see if we can get this well positioned here. This is the Mighty Thor number 385. So as you can tell, one of those great matchups, Thor versus Hulk. You can't go wrong with comics like this. These are the sort of the backbone of the comics sort of smackdown periods. And, Hulk versus Thor, we saw it in Avengers. We love it. This one is a Friends and Milgram. So Friends, past guests. Milgram, I guess at this point that you're going to be listening to this, past guest. So, just delightful. Thor versus Hulk. Nothing more I can say about that other than love it.
That's very nice. Yeah, I stuck with my dollar bin motto. I took a buddy and his son to the comic book shop I go to because they just moved up here recently. We all hit the dollar bins. These are some of the books I pulled. It's going to be this first one's going to be an all Jason Mink thing because I'm wearing my Atlas Comics shirt, just like Jason Mink had on his comics for breakfast on Sunday. And this book here is called The Gospel Blimp. Now, this was put out by Spire Comics, which is a Christian-based comic book company. Can you guys see it?
Amen. Praise his name.
Yeah.
Never heard of this.
For a while there, Spire had the rights to Archie Comics. So Archie Comics would have sort of a values and lessons being told in them. This is an Al Hartley cover of The Gospel Blimp. This is all about a town trying to right themselves. There was some humor in it. It wasn't terrible. And at the time, it was a 49-cent comic. So for $1, I was interested to learn what Spire was all about, being, Jewish. So here we go.
When is that from? You said at the time it was like 50 cents.
Yeah, this is 50 cents. This has to be, see if I can look real quick. Excuse me, everybody. Joe, hit me with the who that. This is from 1974.
Okay.
So that was sort of a lot of money for the time.
Yeah.
But as you can see here on the back, they had a whole variety of comics. Tom Landry, the Dallas Cowboys, Archies, a lot of different books they were putting out at the time. So it's cool to have.
Cool.
What about you, Joe? What do you have?
Well, I am going to show off first a little bit. I have a signed Ron Mars Green Lantern comic. He was doing a signing this weekend at Aw Yeah in Harrison, and a big fan that I went, and he actually remembered us in our interview, and I got a Green Lantern comic signed by him. Now, dumbass that I was, I couldn't find the actual Emerald Twilight comic that I own, but I found the next best thing.
There you go.
At any rate, so diving into my finds, I have some old school horror comics. First and foremost, House 2, the comic version of the movie.
I was just read about that today. I never knew that came out.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was really cool. They got I saw this, I kind of jumped at it. I was really excited about it.
Yeah.
I have first off, I have Ghosts. We challenge you to read the true tales of the weird and supernatural from DC.
Nice.
And then Marvel Comics, Werewolf by Night.
Ooh. Hot book.
So there's some
Very
pretty
on
cool-
theme.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a little more into, find more of the old school horror comics. They're pretty cool. One thing, go to Aw Yeah, okay? Take the time to dig through their back bin collection. There are some really great finds in there. They have a fair amount of new stuff, but they're always getting in people's collections. And he seeds the good stuff within the new stuff as well. So if you take the time and sift through it, you're going to find some really good stuff.
For our national and international folks, where is Oh Yeah?
I just said I was in Harrison, New York.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it is in Harrison, New York. And if you're in the area or close by, it's right off of the Metro North Harrison stop.
Tell him Joe sent you.
Yeah, tell them the Dollar Bin Bandits sent you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Next.
All right, so I'm gonna go thematic here as
Do it.
well because this is sort of Halloweeny.
Weenie.
I'm much more, yeah, I know weenie. Much more mainstream than you guys. I am. What can I say? I'm just sort of a lame DC and Marvel guy mostly. But I think Joe's gonna appreciate this one.
Oh, I love that
Day of Judgment from JLA, where Hal Jordan is now the Spectre
one. Mm-hmm.
during those days. This was number 35 of JLA from written by past guest DeMatteis. And, deals with souls and horror elements, but of course has the big JLA lineup, has
It's
Superman there.
Upcoming
that?
guest. Upcoming guest.
DeMatteis is an upcoming guest. You're
Yes.
right. Man,
So keep an eye out.
you know
for
what? I'm just laming up this episode.
that.
Let's move on because I'm just
That was a cool.
I have to
I
wallow
like
in
that
shame.
series.
Yeah. Think about what you've done.
I like that series. That
I think
you,
the Spectre might be visiting me.
okay.
Mete out some vengeance for messing up so many times.
Well, I picked up. I love them. The DC $1 comics. The first one was a World's Finest comic. Batman and Superman. Doing it out.
Nice. That's cool.
And the second one is a Superman family. There's two Supergirls. How does it?
Supergirl?
You got to read the book to find out. I mean, I honestly can't stand the Lois Lane stories in this when she's just on her own. It just does nothing for me. But everything else, good to go. Worth your dollar, folks.
Hey, weren't you a reporter?
I was a reporter for quite a long time, and
You don't like the reporter stories?
I covered high school sports and local government, so I never really got kidnapped by ninjas and corporate, baddies who wanted me to shut up. So
this just doesn't ring true
I
to your
can't-
experience.
Yeah, I don't know what she's talking about.
Okay.
Well, keeping in line with Oren's 2 Supergirl issue, I also have a Supergirl from back in the day, and
Wow.
there are 2 Supergirls. Look at that.
What's with the two Supergirls?
I don't know. It just
It's like a
Oren
twins
and I
fetish
are
or
on the
what?
same. See, Oren and I were here.
Yeah, we're right there. We know a good book,
You guys are like the two Supergirls.
I know.
and you got a dollar comic there too.
I do. Yes, I do. Wait, no, where is it?
You got
There
it
we
there.
go.
That's a
Dollar
beauty. I
comic.
got that one.
Ironically, not $1, $7.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, brother.
And then I got an old school Action Comics with some nerdy guy called Captain Incredible who is fighting Superman.
The dark days of Superman when they were scraping for any kind of story.
Yeah, look, as much as I love Superman, I am one of his biggest critics because his stories really ebb and flow, because when they're bad, they really suck. But when they're good, they're great.
Right.
And unfortunately, there's more bad stories than there are good stories.
Like, you cheer us all up.
The general conundrum of Superman. Well, I have one from, okay, now I'm going to get this right. Future guest, Carl Kiesel.
That's how he says
Future guest, Tom Grummett. Of course, these guys work together on so many different things. I didn't really know that they worked on the Fantastic Four.
No.
Yeah.
And I am kind of a, Fantastic Four, I wouldn't say a junkie, but there have been so many different creators that have left their mark on the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And they've been sort of reset so many times, and I really just pick that stuff up whenever I see it. And, with this creative team, you can't not pick it up. I'm also a sucker for just those plain, but, plain, no background covers, just the characters, like really crisp, just the way you know them. And that's what this one is.
I guess, they are a super team, and I guess Kiesel and Grummett are also super friends. And speaking of super friends, here's a Super Friends comic I picked up.
Look at that.
It's been beat up pretty darn good. I don't think this is ever taken from an episode, but this is about like a goat from space that sort of wreaks havoc amongst the Super Friends. But at the end of the day, there's a lesson learned. Friendships are made, and the goat gets a good home. But
You gotta watch out for those space goats.
yeah, nail-biting suspense. You can see Batman throwing a batarang at it, and it just goes right through. So,
Ugh,
yeah.
hate when that happens.
Yeah.
So, but a beauty, and very cool to have.
Can I just say that was a super segue?
Thank
It
you.
really was.
I know.
It really was. It was well thought out, a lot of build up, and
Thank you.
executed nicely. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a couple of comics that I never really collected before, and that is old ones. The new ones I kind of read. Is Ghost Rider 2099. And the only reason why I got it because it was $1. And the other is, it's actually a Guardians of the Galaxy with Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this one because of the pose. This pose has been used and used and used many times over for numerous comics.
Where they're crushing the logo.
Yeah, crushing the logo, but the subject is huge, standing up. I think it was used for X-Men and Avengers and stuff like that. But it's a very familiar framing style.
I clearly remember honestly buying that book just because I was never a huge Guardians of the Galaxy fan.
Yeah.
But I saw that cover and I was like, well, got to see what's going on here.
Yeah.
And I read it and I was like, I don't know what's really going on here. But
When are they going to crush the logo?
Cool color, cool cover, but
Yeah.
Ghost Rider's in space.
Yeah.
Well, don't they now have a space Ghost Rider?
And do you know who that Ghost Rider is? Frank fucking Castle.
What?
No.
Frank Castle is the new Ghost Rider, and he's Cosmic Ghost Rider. Yes. And it's actually a very, the latest issues I have not read, even if it is still going. But when it first started, I read it, and it was a very funny series. Ghost Rider was very similar in tone to Deadpool, wisecracking and joking around and stuff like that. And he attempts to take Thanos under his wing and trains Thanos to not kill everyone. And Thanos becomes the Punisher.
Folks, this is why I stick to comics pre-1993. Because
it's a wackadoo story if I explain it, but if you read it, it's pretty damn funny.
It sounds like kind of like Lobo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have like a badass on a space motorcycle.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Doing
very
crazy
much.
stuff with
Yeah.
lots of chains.
Yeah.
Well, this is a throwback. There's no real segue into this from there, other than it's from space. And, well, it's apropos of a movie that
Absolutely nothing.
is coming out.
Ooh,
Oh, look at that. That's a nice.
beautiful Kirby cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, check that out. So, The Eternals, When Gods Walk the Earth.
Gods and Men at City College.
I mean, is there any other better endorsement for higher education?
That's where you want to have a comic.
Men, gods. I mean,
College.
you would expect there are women too, but maybe that's all under men, or maybe those are the gods.
A little bit of everything. Well,
So, yeah, can't resist Kirby.
well,
Just happened to come into a big bunch of comics I actually got on Facebook Marketplace.
oh, really?
Guys should dip around there, and some people are just selling kind of random collections and some other stuff. You can get them down to, sometimes $1 a book, sometimes less. I've had some good luck there.
Oh. Well, I'm trying to think of a segue here. I can't do it, but I'm gonna go with it's a rare day for me at the dollar bin if I can't get myself some Charlton books. And I found 2 in the whole store. They're not my favorites, but I'll take them. You got Barney and Betty Rubble from Charlton,
Mm-hmm.
and Popeye the Sailor
Man,
with Wimpy having a rough day there.
Well, blow me down.
don't touch me, Wimpy.
Yeah.
Oh, he can't get his cheeseburger.
The hamburger's telling Wimpy, "Don't touch me,"
Ugh.
which happens, I guess, and wherever the hell they live. But Charlton books. This is they're cranking them out from the TV and the cartoons. So happy to add them to my happy family.
Cool.
Because Charlton was mostly licensed
They did
properties.
a
Huh?
lot of licensed stuff. I mean, they had a lot of original things too. Really fantastic original things, but tons of licensed stuff. I mean, that's how they made a lot of their money off of that.
Mhm. Interesting.
Joe, what's your last thing?
My last one is it's 2. I meant
I
to.
think Joe. Yeah, I think Joe has. I think I'm starting the last round.
All right, my mistake, Joe.
Well, no, it's fine because this is all I have left. So, I meant to include this earlier, but it was a Vault of Evil.
Nice.
The horror old school.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, so I just got this because it was like $3 and the cover looked intriguing. Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, looking like he's about to take on. Well, the character's name is the Hermit, but he looks like Moses. So,
Hey, you can't go wrong, man.
yeah, when you start putting religious figures in comic books,
Yeah. Who did the cover for that?
I don't know. They don't have a lot of the.
Not signed on the cover.
Yeah, they don't put all the information. Just destroying this bag.
I mean, the Hermit looks pretty mad that someone
Spider-Man
discovered him.
monkeying with him.
Yeah.
Well, he's coming down from.
Looks like the type of guy that just wants to live in the woods by himself.
Let's cut him some slack, bro.
Let's see. Oh, story by A. Milgram.
I told
You know
you.
that guy.
Yeah, Marvel
We know
comic
that guy.
from the 80s. That Al Milgram having something to do with
Wait. It gets better. It gets better. Editor D. Fingerroth.
I think I know who that refers to.
Keep it coming.
Looked over or overlooked by. Now, this is not someone that we have interviewed, but would love to. Anyone want to take a guess?
You say Jim Shooter.
Boom.
Jim Shooter is my dream guest. If anyone knows Jim Shooter, please send him our way. We would be very nice to you, sir.
Well, that's my selection, gentlemen.
Well, I'm gonna round mine out with a run that I got for $1 each, which is
You got the runs?
I got the runs. I
Thanks
got the Green Martian runs.
Oh, heavens.
What'd you?
By our old pal Mr. John Ostrander.
Oh, nice.
And I believe the artist name is Mandrake. Is it Tom Mandrake? It is Tom Mandrake. Okay.
He's a magician, right?
So,
I have those
from the, I don't know when it was from,
That's
but 0 through like 6 or something like that.
late 90s.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have the one with the Oreo, but I have that. There's a great cover from this run where he's sitting on a pile of Oreos because obviously the Martian Manhunter's favorite snack is Oreos, like many of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't. I collected like issues here and there of this Martian Manhunter, and I thought, well, now having talked to Ostrander and really, this coming back sort of into the consciousness with his little cameo at the end of the Snyder cut, I said, let me dig into some Manhunter.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
So that's where we're at.
All right. Well, my last one's a little bit of a run too. I picked up some Avengers West Coast. If you haven't read them, they're actually really good, and it's pretty much how do we kick Hank Pym in the groin every episode because he goes through such hell in these books. These covers, 3 out of 4. The fourth one, I can't really tell, but covers by Al Milgrom, starting with this one. This is number 11.
Cool.
Yeah. Number 12, featuring Quantum, Zax, and Half-Life.
Okay.
Hey, man, they're the next big thing. And this one is pretty cool, number 13, because it is Wonder Man, also featured on Jason Minks Comics for Breakfast, in one of his newest suits. You'll see him in the front here in the green, yellow, and red suit.
Yeah,
God,
that is a terrible suit.
The best part is they have Tiger like, oh, you look so hot, and like all these things in the suit, and
Ready for Christmas.
yeah. And the last one is
does he have sunglasses?
Cool. He does have some. Well, no, in this one he does because he's getting used to himself having the red eyes. So it's him loving him. This is A Tale of Two Kitties with Hellcat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Tigra.
Yep.
Or Tigra. Tigra or Tigra?
I say Tigra, but call me old school.
I don't say anything.
I don't
Old
say,
school.
hey, there's a tiger in the zoo. I say there's a tiger in the zoo. That's how I am, folks.
Wow. Slap a reality for you.
Interesting.
That's how I roll.
Well,
All right. I think we did it.
I think we did it. This is our first Bandit Bits episode where we have explored our dollar bin back bins with Mike Farah.
Yeah. Welcome to the club, my
Just
friend.
keep exploring those back bins, fellas.
From this point on, you will no longer be known
Excavate
as-
them. Find the hidden treasures.
Yep. Get out your mining helmet with the light.
Yeah, go
Don't read into any of this as metaphor.
Going forth,
We're
folks,
talking
we
about
will
straight
no
up back
longer
bins.
we will no longer be referring to Mike as the new guy.
He's just the guy.
He's in.
I'm the guy. Well, thank you guys.
He's made.
Just
I love to be with the tall guy and the bald guy, and I'm a tall bald guy, so I think we really kind of round each other out.
I think you.
Come
Yeah.
Or keep thinking of super segues.
I'm gonna try, but folks, let us know what you think of our picks. Tell us what you've picked up recently. Dollar bins, antique shows, flea markets, cons, wherever you get your stuff from. Let us know some of the places you go to get your books. Maybe there are folks in your area who are looking for places to go to. Put in the
Comment down below.
Yep.
Yeah. And look, we respect everyone's opinions. Clearly, people have their own opinions as to what is a good comic. Some people like, older comics, like 1/3 of our team. Others like all kinds of stuff, like the rest of us. However, you are free to like whatever you want, and you're free to comment any which way you want. But we just ask that you do it constructively, and don't be a dick.
And subscribe first.
Subscribe.
Whether you like us or hate us, just subscribe first.
We don't
and
really
then
care.
You can put
you
whatever
can hate us
opinion
all you
you
want. Just subscribe.
It's not taking anything into your life to press a button, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
at
really
any
easy.
rate,
We're gonna do a how-to on button pressing for one of these bandit bits one day.
we'll do a class at the Learning Annex.
We
Anyway,
should probably do one on ending an episode too.
we're getting there.
We don't seem to be very good at that one.
No, we're getting there. Anyway, have a good week, everyone. And be sure to tune into our next episode coming out on Wednesday. And we'll see you then.